I'm going to do a little maintenance today on the Grizzly. Actually, I'm going to do maintenance on the Kodiak as well, but we won't be shooting a video on that today. Show you what we got in mind here. The bearings go right here on your ends, on your shock mount, where it bolts to the A-arm. Now there's a bearing here, and there's also a bearing up here. These bearings up here are fine on shocks on both machines, so I'm just going to be replacing the bearings on all of the lowers. They are all worn out. Now these shocks has been on here 27, I think it's 8 years we've ridden with these Elkas, and these lower bearings have worn out. And I'll show you the movement in them so you can get an idea, and then we'll get started on the what it's going to take to do them. Get the camera real close here. So look right here, you'll see movement right here. I'll move it up and down. Can you see it right there, movement? So see that bearing right there, it's worn out. The uppers are not. And here's some new ones. Bought all new bearings from Elka for both machines. So we'll get started on doing that. I'll get that shock pulled off. Now you see I already have the machine slightly tore apart here. Got this side off and everything. What I was doing, I repacked the muffler, and I just got done doing that the other day, so that's the reason the machine is apart here. This is where the connection is right here. Take these two springs off, and you know the muffler comes off, unbolts there. So that's the reason the machine's apart here. And just took the rear bag off just to get everything cleaned up back here a little bit. All right, I do have air tools to do this with. If you did not have an impact, you could do this by hand. Get up in there. Okay. See, I like these nuts a little better. They got a nice shoulder here, and I just like them better. Down. Sit that in there. That comes out through the front here. See if I can get a hold of it, which I can't. Get us a screwdriver. Okay. We're going to clean these off a little bit and then knock these spacers out. Okay, I like to have a towel for it to set on, keep them scratching it all up. Some pretty sharp edge to get in here and get these spacers knocked out and get down to the real bearing, right? Here, let me get these out of the package and show them to you. See, here's the bearing itself, but they're very tight. No play in them now. So that's what we will be replacing. Be sure and get you a claw hammer, because your works the best. Not really, but whatever. See, there's a seal on those, but water still gets past them. I got an idea how I'm going to slow that down. I'll tell you that here in a minute when we get to putting it back together. And then I've got this bolt that sets in there, and we kind of just hit it, knock that other half loose. See, these seals are different. Square cut, regular O-ring that will go on here, because this is different from side to side. One side has a snap ring that we will remove. The other side is a shoulder. So there's the big side with the snap ring. There's the small side with the shoulder. I'll show you what I got for snap ring pliers. This vice grip set has several different ones. And if you can see that, I kind of filed them down a little bit to make them fit. So you need to get that in there. It's got a hold of it. I think it's actually up on one side. Tell you what I'm going to do. Get another towel, because these are aluminum. I'm going to put it in a vise here. Hold it. Don't want to smash it too tight. End up deforming that end. That could happen. Now I can't even get down in there. I have to put that down in to get that other. Sometimes you have to get it out of the groove before it will come up. So you need to squeeze it. Okay, there it is. See how tiny that snap ring is? Well, it's stuck in my tool now, so I'll leave it there. Just be putting it back down in that groove, see? So, okay. There's that. You see it? We'll leave that right there. Now, we have several sockets here what we're going to use to do this. So let's go back there with let's go back there with these two and we'll get it knocked out. Let's put this door up on this trailer. Let me walk around here a little better. All right. Over here to the press. Let's see, there's the side with the snap ring. That's the side we're going to push it out. I mean, that socket will go right down in there. So, use that as a spacer. That way we don't have to go so far. Sit there and do that with my hand. There it is. Okay, there's our old bearing. We'll take this back over there. I'm going to show you how wore out it is. See that? You see the movement? See, you can really spin it around. It's worn out. But hey, for 7 or 8 years of riding, that is pretty doggone good, you ask me. So, alright. Let's get our other sockets and we'll push the new one in. I'm going to kind of wipe this out, of course. We'll clean that out a little bit before we stick the new one in there. So I'm going to try to lube this a little bit before I put it in. But they're so tight, it's going to be almost impossible, you know, for lubricant to get down in it. There we go. See, there's the shiny ball part of it. Get some down in there. And I'll show you how I'm going to, there we go, she's moving. See it? Okay, so we got a little oil on that bearing. Put a little oil on the outside. A little in there too. Okay. Alright. Now we use this socket, which which is a 5/8, and that'll right there. See that? And that'll push that right down in there until it hits that shoulder. So let's go do that now. We'll still use that same socket. There, you see it straighten out right there. You're watching it closely. And we'll go until it bottoms out. There. Tighten that down. Okay, see, not going any further. Okay. Now there it is. Tight, and we'll put our O-ring back in there. All right. We'll leave our sockets over here this time. Okay. Try to set it up here this time. Now, let's get this bad boy back down in there. To jump out. Sometimes you take and tap down right on the edge of where a snap ring is. Hit it down, and it will expand out into the groove. Okay, there, I just pushed it with my hand. But now I'm going to give it a tap, just for safety measures. Make sure it's in its groove. So that's in there. Now see, that's why these are different on each side. The spacer's not, but the O-ring seal is different. So, what I'm going to try to do, put a little oil, I don't know if you can see that, hope I got the camera right. Right there where that ball goes in. But what I'm going to do this time is I got some different grease I'm going to try to, or I'm going to put on here, not try, I'm going to put on it. There we go, get that up like that. Everything keeps falling over. But, here it is. Waterproof green grease. I'm going to try this stuff on these seals, and hopefully this will keep the water out. That would not go on this side, it goes the other side. But hopefully this won't wash out like the other grease I've been using. When you have a shock like an Elka or any type of performance shock, when something wears out on it, you take it apart and you rebuild it. You just don't take the whole shock, throw it away. You replace the worn out part and then put the shock back on. Now factory shocks, if something worn out on it, you would throw it away and just buy a whole new one. So maybe this will last longer. This is just kind of something that I thought might work a little better than just regular grease. And I'm going to pack this area. So this is the big O-ring. I'm going to try to pack this area. And hopefully that'll keep the water out. See, these are spacers and reducers. Reduce down the size of that to the size of the bolt. Try to smack that in there. Okay. Where's the other one? Are you guys watching? Oh, here it is. We're looking right at it. You guys are probably telling me that. Well, it's right there. See the same thing over here. Let's try to get that in there. And maybe this will... You know when they're dry as they start squeaking. If you guys follow the channel, you know I've done a... I bounced the quad and I say, okay, well, what is that squeak? I knew what it was, but so you all could hear it and experience it as well. That these will squeak when they get dry. So now we'll just put this in a vise and shove those spacers back in there. Actually, those spacers are kind of getting worn. They used to fit a little tighter. Okay, so that's the bearing moving now. See? Tight. You see that move? Okay. So now we'll wipe that down, wipe the excess off. Because all the excess do, we know what that does, it just collects dirt. Hopefully that will keep water out of there. Because these are in the water all the time. I've said it 10 times now already. So that's that. This side, yep, they're good. So, alright guys, you know how to put a shock back on, right? If you took it off, you put it back on the same way. I'll probably wash this, and that's it. That's bearing, or shock bearing replacement for an Elka. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Hit the like button if you like it. And hey, leave a comment, questions. I'll answer them. And we'll see you on the next video. Bye.